which the Beast indulges with surprising ease. The Beast of Darkness doesn't even rear its head when Griffith shows up to attack Elfhelm, because we know Guts doesn't go berserk on that particular occasion. Instead, it shows up at the literal lowest moment of Guts'
Marksman
life.
rifle
The Beast of
headshot.
Darkness isn't actually real. It's a mental construct that reflects the fractured state of mind that Guts has to push through on a daily basis in order to protect those he cherishes. So when you see it manifesting out of the Dragon Slayer like a hellhound, you know that something is terribly wrong with Guts. In chapter 373,
I haven't even
Beast of
got this
Darkness
gun yet.
taunts
I gotta
Guts for his
find it.
weakness at not being able to protect Casca and tells him what he truly desires.
That's a bit of a problem,
Power.
eh?
The Beast tells Guts that his brand restrains him, that his flesh restricts him, all the while laughing at him, trying to get his bearings and hallucinating about his L to Griffith instead. The Beast tells Guts that if it's power he wants, then he should yield everything to him. His bones, his blood, his pain, even his soul. If he does that, then the implication is cut off by the arrival of some Kushan slavers, but we think the gist of it is pretty clear. Yield to the Beast, and Guts will finally be powerful enough to defeat Griffith. Stick to his humanity, and Guts will never be able to beat his mortal adversary, the one person he claims to be the only thing keeping him walking on his 2 feet, besides Casca, of course. Chapter 373 ended with Guts gripping the Dragon Slayer, and the Beast attempting to unleash the Berserker as a few Kushan slavers look down at his seemingly hapless body. And we honestly feel sorry for them. Those poor guys have no idea what's about to hit them. But to be frank with you, neither do we. So far, every time Guts has fallen off the edge, someone has pulled him back. This time, there's no one to do that, and it looks very likely that the Beast will end up winning out the battle for his soul against Casca. Berserk isn't set to return until July or August at the very least, so don't expect answers anytime soon. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section down below.
What causes
Marvelous
this?
verdict. But as for this video, that's gonna have to be it. The Beast of Darkness makes a handful of appearances throughout Berserk,
What is,
but every time
like,
it pops up, you
causing
know
my
some major shit is about to
volume to
go
have a
down.
fucking
That's what we
stroke
felt
here?
reading chapter 373, because it had been literal years since we'd last seen the Beast. Who knows what
That
will
is
happen
so
in chapter
weird.
374, but if you want to know what we think, check out our predictions
Spectre
video
Fires.
on the
Yeah,
channel
sure.
itself, and we'll see you guys in the next
Customize
one.
camo.
There are plenty of characters in Berserk whose lives feel like they've been predetermined to go through living hell. Guts and Casca immediately come to mind when we say that phrase, but it's also true for most other characters we meet as well. Jill, Rosine, Farnace, Serpico, heck, even Isidro have been through things that have culminated in their fated encounters with the Black Swordsman. But there is one
Alright,
character who
let's see what's going
literally
on
could
here.
not have avoided being tied into the story of our main trio. And what makes his life especially tragic is the fact that we weren't even aware he'd been created. The Demon Child debuted in Berserk all the way back in its first chapter, but its existence wouldn't be explained until the end of the Golden Age arc. And
Can
when
we
it
all,
was,
like,
you
sit
bet
like a
we
human
were
here?
just as horrified as our protagonist was in that moment. But what exactly is this child? Who are its parents? And why is it so important to the story? We'll answer all that and more in this video. This is the Demon Child / Moonlight Boy's origins. Explored. Before we get into our explanation, we do have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. He's introduced as an enigmatic specter that haunts Guts at his most vulnerable. Demon Child in the Black Swordsman arc. If you stopped reading Berserk after the Black Swordsman arc, and we don't know why you would, you'd think that the Demon Child was yet another torment inflicted upon Guts by series creator Kentaro Miura.
No.
That's because though there are hints pointing towards a connection between the two, they're very subtle. And mostly, the Demon Child just plays a rather antagonistic role in the Black Swordsman arc, in that it reminds Guts of his power.
Two kills without dying a bunch of times.
Situation. The first time the Demon Child appears in Berserk is in the very
Getting
first
gold of
chapter
this shield's
of
actually
the Black
surprisingly
Swordsman,
easy. I was
after
expecting it to be a
laying and slaying
nightmare,
an
but
apostle in that order.
which is pretty
Guts
cool.
arrives at the city of Koka looking for his next
So is
target.
this.
His investigation leads him to an inn where he
Oh,
spots
I
the
hear
boss's thugs harassing
the
an
sound
elf
of
and
hooves.
sees a golden opportunity. He makes quick work of the group of thugs in Koka City.
Hey,
leaving a single
did you take your
survivor to
meds?
deliver his message to their master.
What's that?
Swordsman.
Then go take your meds. Get the hell out of here.
What's
What's that?
I have something to Hey.
What?
Decent Teddy, yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna go with you today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Is
she said okay.
it's cool with his mom? I'm assuming.
Probably.
So I just want to know so I'm not abducting a child.
I know you're not abducting a child. I am.
Well, I'm the adult, so I'm the one that's gonna be charged. So, what time is the swim?
I have no idea. Where's the papers?
I believe on the counter upstairs, close to your meds. You can go take those too. Wabam! You get this crazed look in your eyes. Hold on a second. Just stay right there. I'm taking a picture of your face.
What?
So I can show you later what you look like when you're not on your meds. You have like what Stephen King would call the shining in your eyes. The shine.
I have this shining in my eye.
That's YouTube.
You're gonna take your video.
No, I opened YouTube instead of my camera. All right, there you go.
Can I see it?
No, you're gonna see it later when your meds kick in. I'm gonna show you. I gotta show your other brain. What you look like. Oh, you have two brains, Brody. Let me tell you. No. Okay, fine. You have two personalities. Let's put it that way.
Two personalities. Not
Yeah.
Two brains.
Wow.
Two brains. I'll be able to read it.
I'll be able to read it. No, you just gotta practice. Is what you gotta do for that.
No,
But.
I need to practice the red. Like red.
Yeah. Now my chair's uncomfortable and I'm very sad.
First sight of trouble, because Guts' actions ended up drawing the attention of the city guard. He was taken captive.
Alright,
and
we're watching a
tortured near
mix of
senseless, being
this.
thrown into a musty prison cell afterward,
Not like
where
anyone
his
watches my
captors
shit
no
anyway.
doubt
It's all
hoped
good.
he would die. As
Daily.
he
Let's get a
found
headshot
himself
and
in
continue
his
on with my
unable
merry
to
life.
make sense of where he was, the demon child
Bar.
appeared
Oh,
right in
excuse
front of
me.
his eyes. It was, objectively speaking, the most disgusting character we'd seen in Berserk from a design standpoint. And yes, we're including the female apostle from the beginning of this chapter. The child was grotesque, with a
What?
childlike growth covering his right eye and plague spots
Okay.
in his mouth. His spine seemed to want out of his skin.
Okay.
His limbs ended in
You have a very important job, which is to remind me around like 12:30. All right.
Hey!
All right, and you have another really important job, which is to take it easy and calm down. I just got a double headshot with one bullet.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would have to agree with you. I'm gonna call that daily.
And this is mostly why we say
Bah.
that the child appeared to be an antagonist in the early stages of Berserk. After dealing with the Snake Baron, whose men
Oh, hi.
Guts had killed,
Weren't expecting a shield now, were ya? Oh shit.
neither Hellfire nor Rain could have stopped his feet from taking him where he needed to go, and the latter tried particularly hard that day. Guts was offered a ride
didn't.
by his daughter Judith
Alright, what we got?
traveling in a carriage, and he dozed off in the back, with Puck once again
Hi.
keeping him company. No sooner had he slept, though, than we saw him enter a nightmarish landscape, trapped between two walls with seemingly endless paths extending either side.
Let's give me the kill. Yeah, I got it.
Single eye.
2 kills, 1
Light in the
life.
sky. He tried to
Wow,
run
so
away,
far it's turned out to be a
but
great
ended
game
up
for me.
putting his foot on some spikes coming out of the ground. As Guts struggled to free himself, his brand of sacrifice started bleeding, and a massive representation of the demon child popped up behind him. It told him that he cannot run, as it leapt at Guts and pulled him from his nightmare.
lame.
Turns out this was the job of an incubus that had snuck onto the wagon, but it still bears weight in our opinion. We know
Damn.
that the brand of sacrifice only bleeds in the presence of malign entities tied into the astral world. So the fact that the demon child made his brand bleed in his nightmare gives us the impression that it too is somehow working against him.
Oh, I'm
The
coming for you,
final
buddy.
time we see Guts encounter the demon child is once again when his guard is all the way down.
Where'd my team go? I thought we were rolling in there together. I got ditched.
Physician whose actions put a Behelit in Guts' possession, the Black Swordsman, whose reeling. He was
Oh, that
about to
sucks for me.
throw up in an alleyway due to the sheer inhumanity of what he just
Getting
seen.
kills with my anti-aircraft launcher sucks. The balls. Get out of my way, dude.
Before it moved out of sight, its head turned into Vargas's, exacerbating the Black Swordsman's internalized guilt. These 3 encounters are all we got from Guts and the Demon Child for
Yay.
the chapters. Between the start of the Golden Age and the end of the Eclipse, they
cute.
did give us some ideas
Boop.
as to their relationship. Number 1, Guts knew the Demon
Yeah.
Child and was clearly repulsed by it, and number 2, this kid had some connection to the Godhead. The entire point of the Black Swordsman arc was to set
Fuck
up the
off.
apostles in the Godhead.
I wish
the
they-
main antagonists of the series, after all. And this
I wish I
movie
was
showed
able
that
to,
the
like-
Demon Child was clearly a part of that infernal
I don't know.
species of evil. The reasons
Maybe I just need to
behind
wake
both
up.
of our observations
Let's do that.
were
Let's wake up
revealed in the
first, and then we'll do
aftermath
some
of the
shit.
eclipse, and to say that they were disturbing and not what we expected.
How did I get 100
would be an
points?
understatement, at the very least. The corrupted seed of a love torn asunder blooms into a cursed flower. The Demon Child's birth. The reasons behind both of our observations stem from a single disgusting act of dominance and
Uh-oh.
violation. And if you guys know anything about the eclipse, then you know where we're going with this. In chapters 46 and 47, titled Wounds Part 1 and 2, Guts and Casca overcome their differences and realize that they love each other. Both warriors lay their deepest insecurities out in the open.
that sucks for me. I
and
should have
are
waited,
accepted
I
by
guess.
the other, leading to an encounter
It
that
is
both
what it
emotionally and
is, you
narratively
know.
satisfying for us as
Hi.
readers. Guts and Casca had terrible lives even before being found by Griffith. As mercenaries, they had put their lives on the line every day for years on end. And through that, Guts
Wow,
and Casca
we fit more guys in there? Jeez.
even they didn't realize ran deeper
Heyo.
than camaraderie. The culmination of their love is one of the reasons why many Berserk fans call the manga a love story. Because ultimately, Guts and Casca's love for each other ends up saving them from their loneliness, which had come to define their characters up until that point. What's surprising is that this was the first time either of them had slept with anyone, which is what makes what happens next both shocking and terrifying. Guts had been trained in the art of the sword since he was 6 years old, but he'd never really gotten to have the talk with anyone in his life. So of course, he didn't know anything about pulling out and such, and because Casca had never slept with anyone either, he doubts she knew the proper risks of what had just happened. If she did, she probably wouldn't have set out on a whole-ass rescue mission to free Griffith from captivity after spending a year on the run because of his actions. Guts had not just affirmed his love for Casca.
Fuck off. Come on,
He
man.
also impregnated her, and unwittingly,
This challenge is
conceived
dumb.
new life. So when Casca's womb ended up being violated by the newly born
So
God
frustrating.
Femto, that seed
I'm dead.
ended up being corrupted. Griffith's
Whoever, like,
seed
thought this was cool
the
is
very
a
first
dickhead.
once saved from the acts he was committing to her affects not just her sanity,
I don't know where this guy
as
went.
well. Femto's
He's
evil seed
somewhere.
mingles with the fetus that was still taking shape within her to create a new form of life. Of course, neither Guts nor Casca were aware of the latter's pregnancy, and ascertaining the same was going to be especially difficult now that Casca's mind had been regressed. If it hadn't been for the Skull Knight, Guts would have probably never even realized that he had become a father. After the Wandering Wraith saved Guts and Casca from being finished off alongside their sacrificed comrades, he brought them to go.
At the very least, my MMR will tank. So,
The Skull Knight brought them there because he knew the mine to have been inhabited by elves once.
oh wow, 152 to 11. I guess we know which team's doing objectives.
He told Rickard to tell them not to leave the cave for
Or
obvious reasons.
doing their fucking
But Guts
camos,
ends
I
up
meant.
leaving, obviously. He runs for a while, trying to sweat out his traumas, but ends up being beset by evil dead spirits from all sides. Skull Knight shows up once again and gives him a sword to fight with. But in the middle of Guts' war declaration, the spirits end up rushing away from him. Guts is confused as to how this could have happened, but Skull Knight informs him that the dead spirits weren't gone.
Take
They
it.
had just found a new light to attach themselves to. The Black Swordsman immediately realizes what this means and rides with the Skull Knight to where the spirits had gathered around Casca. Guts made to rush towards her.
I hate when I get killed with that. When there's a guy, like, literally right in front of him that I would, like, literally was expecting to kill the guy. I was like, well, he sees him, right? He did not see him.
They just hung around her, as if circling her in anticipation of something. Guts didn't care. He rushed to Casca's side and immediately asked her if any of the spirits had hurt her. But something Casca's eyes were
I get
glazed
brain
over,
damage from
as if
doing
she
this,
was
man.
mindless in that moment, even more so than her regressed condition due to the eclipse's events. No sooner had Guts began to shake her for reassurance.
Oh, I guess I didn't get to
than she
throw it
keeled
back.
over, clutching her belly with a scream.
Yeah!
The power of hindsight, we know now that this
Almost,
was the
boys.
set of labor. But as we were reading this chapter,
Almost, boys.
Casca grabbed Guts' arm as hard as she could and struggled for what felt like an eternity before a small, malformed thing fell out of her birth canal. The thing was no bigger than a palm, all covered in blood and with only a single eye besides. But as soon as it came out of Casca, it opened said eye, and Guts instinctively knew that this was a demon. He tries to kill it, but to his bafflement, Casca leaps over the fetal creature as if to protect it.
Oh, I got the bonus challenge? Cool, I didn't even know.
And go in for a second stomp
Woo.
attack. Skull Knight's words stop him. The wandering wraith informs Guts that the reason
So,
behind
like, where am I
Casca's
at here?
demonic spawn that came out of her womb was simple. It was her child. Unbeknownst to either of them, Casca was with child when she entered her defilement by the newest member of the Godhead.
2 more to get the camo, and then get 2 kills without dying 5 times. That's rough.
Possessed by evil and was a cursed child.
Gross. I don't want to do that. Ooh. That makes me sad.
Realizes that this must mean he's the actual father of this baby. He's so shocked by this revelation that he tells Skull Knight to shut his trap as he tries to process this new information. Just then, the demon child crawls up Casca's bosom and starts licking at her brand of sacrifice, which, curiously enough, is not bleeding at all. Guts immediately grabs the baby and snatches it away from Casca, despite knowing that this was his baby.
So I gotta get a bunch of doubles with this silly gun.
Condemned the demon child as
Oh shit, son.
those who devoured their comrades.
Like,
Guts
really?
intends to finish the job he began on his third attempt, but Casca tries to rabidly protect
Like, I know it's anti-air, but it's a missile.
Just as the parents
Like,
begin
come on.
struggling over their offspring, the first proper retcon of Berserk takes place.
Oh my gosh, this is something else.
In the chapter Dark
Okay, you guys, come on.
He appeared in an alleyway.
Let's get out of the frickin' tin can that we're in.
Towards the sun, as opposed to going away from it, as a demon was
Yeah,
now wont
wow.
to do in the world of Berserk. But putting that little detail aside, don't let Guts' 3 attempts at offing his own baby make you think.
Yay.
You have to understand that Guts was at the peak of his post-eclipse rage here, going through the
Actually,
night of
know
terrors
what?
that was about to become his daily life for the first time. When he saw Casca
Sup?
giving birth to a literal demon, he didn't even wait to think whose
Come
child
to
it
beat the
was,
crap
because he
out of
already
you
saw
and you and
it.
you. Yeah.
Struck him, he clearly hesitated from taking his own child's life, as he
Ah, it's
contemplated the
fucked
demon
it up.
creature with Casca fighting on his arm. And when the baby disappeared with the sunlight, Casca broke down, and Guts had a tear welling up in his one good eye. Many people interpret this as being yet another sign of
Hi.
Guts' regret at Casca having gone insane. But we think it's him understanding how truly helpless he was now for the first time. He didn't even know he'd gotten Casca pregnant. And now that he did, he nearly treated his child like Gambino had treated him all those years ago. We don't think this became immediately evident to Guts until a while later, and we just want to clarify that Guts trying to kill the demon child.
Why are we all
isn't
just
an indication of him
standing?
Being a terrible father, it's a representation of him rejecting.
That's
everything that
wild,
happened at the
man.
eclipse.
Yeah, here we go.
He refuses to even acknowledge the child in his thoughts until much later in the story. And perhaps that is why it kept showing up in front of him randomly throughout his days as the feared Black Swordsman. We were wondering why this grotesquely huge infant was appearing in front of Guts at his lowest points during the Black Swordsman arc. And the answer turned out to be far more disturbing and heartbreaking.
Toilet wine. Jesus.
Disappearance at the sunrise. Skull Knight walks over to Guts and Casca.
Ah,
puts two and two together. He tells Guts not to think that the baby's disappearance means he
shit.
died. It has simply slipped into the same interstice as the
You
maligned
get
spirits
something
of
out?
the
No, I
dead.
got nothing.
He tells Guts that someday the child will return to see
Oh,
them,
lame.
because all children yearn for their parents, even demons in their own way. He bids Guts farewell after giving him a warning about the life in front of him. And we know that his words rang true since the beginning of the series. The reason behind the demon child appearing in front of Guts was because it basically couldn't visit Casca. After this night of terrors, Guts decided to wage a one-man war against demonkind, and left Casca trapped inside of Godot's war cave like a prisoner. For 2 years she stayed there. The demon child continued to appear to
This
Guts
is like
during
the
night
true
when he
test.
was at his lowest, just to receive a father's love. We've already spoken about his appearances during the Black Swordsman arc, but it continued into the Lost Children arc as well. After killing a bunch of Rosine's pseudo-apostle elves, Guts faces off against the self-proclaimed queen herself, but ends up coming up short thanks to her sonic burst and poisoned elf dust. Once Rosine enters the scene with her remaining elves, the ones who died at Guts' hands revert to their human forms as apostles, and their pseudo-spawn are wont to do. The Black Swordsman is forced to take yet another child hostage in order to stage his escape. and once he does, he pushes away both Jill and Puck in an attempt to kill Rosina Lowe. But, poisoned and losing blood, Guts knows he needs to rest for at least one night and do some emergency med work to even stay functional. He skins a snake, drinking its blood and eating its flesh to counter the poison running through its veins, and consumes some cocoa leaves to keep him moving through the night of terrors. But just as soon as it begins, Guts is stunned into immovability. Usually, the spirits attacking him are formless and 100% malignant, intending to take over his warm body to soothe their cold, rotting souls. But this time, things were different.
I'm a beast.
Guts was faced by the ghosts of the pseudo-apostles he'd slain to save Jill's life, and leading them, at least in his mind, was his own kid. The demon child appeared to his father once more in the bonfire Guts had started to keep himself awake throughout his nightly vigil, and was once again forced to defend himself against his father. Guts brought Dragon Slayer down at the bonfire, annoyed at the kid's ability to get under his skin. But the demon child simply levitates and disappears, leaving his father to deal with the consequences of his actions. It is evident that the attempt at forming a bond between these two characters is rather one-sided. But that doesn't mean they don't share a connection at all. Both the demon child and Guts love the same person, Casca, and they were willing to do anything to protect her and keep her safe. Sadly, neither father nor son knew just how final their last encounter was going to be. If they did,
yummy.
Perhaps there's a chance that
Good the
Guts
job.
would stomp out the demon child like he was Seth Rollins immediately after its birth. Fierce protector and unplanned participant of the incarnation ceremony. The demon child became Berserk's most pivotal character. Despite Guts' hatred for his own offspring, it was clear that at least one of the demon child's parents loved it. When he was born, Casca immediately clutched him in her arms and tried to nurse him before he disappeared into the night air. In the 2 years that the
I almost got gold, I think, for my shield.
Pretty sure he wanted to see his father. He just literally couldn't because of elfin magic.
Oh,
When
bummer.
Casca escaped Godot's ore mine for good, the demon child never got the chance to reunite with its mother, but not before leaving his father with an ominous prophecy. Yes, I said prophecy, because this baby was quite possibly one of the most powerful characters in all of Berserk at the tender age of 2 in a few months. We've already seen the demon child use levitation to protect itself from threats to its person. Because of his inherent astral nature, he can only take shape in the physical world when the sun goes down, or in parts of the world that are covered in complete darkness. The demon child seems to have a degree of influence over evil spirits, as during his birth, none of the spirits circling Casca dared touching her, unlike with Guts, where they immediately tried to possess him. And, to top it all off, he also seems to be cognizant of Causality's grand plan, because this kid was spitting bars like he was SK or Void when he appeared in front of Guts in Revelation.
There was 2 people there. I should have had that. What the hell?
In dealing with Farnes's pre-enlightenment BS, Guts wanders from town to town looking for shelter, but everywhere he goes, he finds the same horrifying scene waiting for him. Streets abandoned. Bodies.
I can't believe that happened.
Paranoid eyes staring at him through the windows of houses that were practically boarded up. Puck encourages him to get some shut-eye near a rock formation that is eerily reminiscent of Stonehenge, and Guts agrees because he's been running on no sleep for 2 days. But as he dozes off underneath the sun, his mind shows him images of a pillar with the Holy See insignia sitting on top of it, buried in a pile of kindling. He sees torches, a pair of chained hands, and faces that look disturbingly similar to the spirits he eats for dinner every night. He then sees a vision of Casca being bound to the aforementioned pillar, as the pyre beneath it is lit aflame by the hands holding those torches we talked about, and that snapped him out of his sleep. Guts wonders if this was the work of those people but turns out, this vision was given to him by his son. The demon child manifests in front of Guts.
Hey, I got the gold red shields.
And the Black Swordsman is immediately apprehensive of his arrival. Guts thinks that the babe is trying to pull some fiendish trick on him when the demon child transforms its own face into that of Casca. But his assumptions are proven dangerously wrong by his son's next words. The child warns Guts that danger will become imminent when the sky falls over holy ground and blind sheep erect a pillar of fire. While he is saying this, Casca's face lights up with flames, and the child departs by urging his father to hurry and get to holy ground quickly. Guts doesn't understand his prophecy at first, but when he puts 2 and 2 together, he realizes that Casca is in dire need of his help. His realization is reaffirmed by his visit to Godot and a visit from the Skull Knight. He pretty much echoes the demon child's prophecy with a bit more context. He rushes to the holy ground of St. Albion post-haste, but his son beats him to the punch. The demon child shows up in front of Casca for the first time in over 2 years, when malign spirits of the dead, buried in the shadow of the Tower of Conviction, are attracted to her brand. Casca, who is practically mindless and with Nina at the time besides, is unaware of the danger approaching her. She never even learns of it because before she is set upon by corpses clamoring for salvation, the demon child shows up to protect his mother. With a single look, he is able to get the dead spirits to leave the corpses they'd animated and go far away from his mom, whom he yearned to reunite with. But the child remembered what Guts' reaction was to seeing him after so long, and didn't want to experience the same thing from both parents, so it disappeared into the night sky once again. His actions did not go unnoticed though, as the egg of the perfect world bore witness to everything that transpired, and this marked a turning point in the story.
Serious?
Up until this point, only one person had been shown to be able to resist the full
Ride the
causality.
lightning.
That was Guts. Zod told him he'd die, and then Skull Knight told him the same thing in their first encounter, but he was still alive and standing on his own 2 feet.
I think I'm gonna use my double XP and
Himself tangled
throw on
in
the
a
next
severe
launcher
guide
there, and then just do all the launcher challenges.
But his own are guided by his personal will. Guts is like a leaping fish that keeps breaching the current that is Berserk's idea.
I still have a positive
So
KD.
naturally,
This is hilarious.
That nature is passed down to his son as well. Throughout the Conviction arc, the Demon Child seems to have 2 distinct purposes. Number 1, protect Casca, and number 2, prevent causality. So far, every vision and prophecy relating to the incarnation ceremony had seen the Pillar of Fire being set aflame, and Casca along with it. It's rather similar to the omens that Guts received prior to the eclipse from Zod and the Skull Knight. So, in order to prevent his mother from meeting such a grisly end, the Demon Child dedicates all of its time and energy in St. Albion to protecting Casca. He shows up outside the cave of the Flame Goddess cult to protect his mother from malign spirits that were summoned there by her brand of sacrifice, and vanishes as soon as its job was done. The Demon Child then resurfaces in the Tower of Conviction, when Casca was put in an Iron Maiden, and her blood-curdling scream triggered the blood flow of the dead. Those bloody blobs of man-eating malice began engulfing everything and everyone present in St. Albion as they were let loose from its very foundations. But they couldn't touch Casca because the Demon Child was protecting her. He used his immense demonic powers to keep the evil spirits and Mosgus's god breath away from Casca. But the sheer numbers disadvantage ended up draining him entirely. The Demon Child was on the brink of death, covered with burn marks and left to die in a hollow of the Tower of Conviction, when he was chanced upon by someone exactly like him. This is when he made a massive splash through the current of causality, and not even by his own choice. As the child awaited the cold embrace of death, it was encountered by a mortally wounded egg of the perfect world, who'd been observing the boy's movements all this time. The Behelit-shaped apostle could instinctively sense that the Demon Child was also headed in the same direction as him when it came to their lives, and in that instance, he empathized with the baby. So much so that the egg of the perfect world swallowed the Demon Child in the hopes of giving it comfort in the cradle of the new world, as they both passed away from the old one. But we think that this move was not preordained by causality, because it ended up creating a massive bug we'll address in just a bit. For now, as far as the egg of the perfect world was concerned, he'd just performed a humane act. The Demon Child now resided in the same incubation chamber that was integral to the incarnation ceremony, and as a result, became an unwitting part of it. The Behelit Apostle continued its climb towards the summit of the Tower of Conviction, but its body looked different. Glowing within its now transparent flesh was the Demon Child, and Guts barely caught a glimpse of him on his way down the side of the tower to go stab
See if we can
Angel Mosgus
do some
and
stiffs.
save Casca. When he came out of his rage,
Alright,
he
so-
realized what he'd seen and jerked his head back to the top of the tower,
yep.
seemingly searching for his son. But his attention was recalled by Mosgus,
Bam and
who went
bam.
into his fully released state. As the battle between the
Alright.
White Angel and the Black Swordsman raged on beneath,
Ooh.
the egg of the perfect world nested itself atop the
Last
Tower of Conviction,
double XP
like its
token for a
red
bit.
tentacles
See if I can
curling
level
within
some
the hollow of
launchers
the
fast
dog
with
hand
it.
created by the blood flow of the dead. As the Behelit Apostle relished the fact that everyone who ever despised him would soon be digested in the incarnation ceremony, he wondered if the Demon Child could hear the lullaby of the new world from within its cradle, as we see the baby having been transformed into a human child for the most part. When we saw this the first time, we were confused. Why would Miura turn the kid into a human baby at this critical juncture, where it seems like Femto is about to return to the physical world? And then it struck us. Because the
Femto.
Demon Child was the vessel for his incarnation.
Oh my
Or at least
God.
part of it. As the blood flow of the dead rushed into the incubating body of the egg of the perfect world, it rapidly matured the Demon Child's human body into the visage of Griffith. And just like that, a god hand now existed within the physical world. For a long
Oh.
time, the Berserk fandom
This one
had
seems
assumed
better.
that this meant that Demon Child was now dead, or at the very least, he only had a peripheral influence over this new Falcon of Light. In chapter 178, titled Reunion on the Hill of Swords, Griffith meets Guts and Rickard for the first time since the eclipse. Guts is understandably pissed by his flagrancy. Rickard is confused
Ow.
by his companion rage.
Darn.
Griffith is just here to confirm something. When he descended within the abyss and was transformed
Oh
into
my
a
God, I'm
man
being
by the
shot.
idea of evil, he was told that he had now shed his last tear, and that his heart was crystallized forever following his reincarnation. Griffith confirms this to be true by appearing in front of Guts, who was the object of his hatred and longing, and realizing that he doesn't feel a single thing in his
Really?
presence. But when Guts' fight with Zod ends in a bloody stalemate for him, Griffith notices his heartbeat. Later, when their fight
So I'm like in a full freaking Knives game or what? Ooh.
protecting
That's
her
not
as
good.
out of a primal instinct, and his internal monologue
So do I have to actually hit people with this thing, or yikes? Alright.
It's
like a recoilless rifle.
Ended up acting out in their favor, and as soon as
Oh
Griffith
my
realized
God.
this, he called off the fight and flew away.
Come on, man.
Between this chapter and the next appearance,
Okay, there we go.
so it was kind of accepted by the fandom that the lads struggle against Falcon evil.
The gun does the kill. Yay me.
Until he showed up.
Okay, snipers and knives.
The Boy of the Moonlight, who is Griffith's ephemeral dream.
Oh, here we
How
go.
the Demon Child became Berserk's most important character. Guts doesn't think about his child or anything besides Casca's safety ever since he temporarily allowed his beast of darkness to overtake him, which is probably why he doesn't immediately realize that the Demon Child and the Moonlight Boy are the same people. But to
Oh
be
my
fair
God,
to
you
him,
guys,
we
come
only
on.
know this because of the power of hindsight. Chapter
Yeah.
28
Oh,
holds the conclusion
I didn't get
that
it.
Guts and Skull
That's
Knights meet
unfortunate.
on a moonlit beach on the former's journey to Vertanis. The wandering wraith gives the Black Swordsman hope by telling him that if he reaches Elfhelm, then its ruler could help restore Casca's mind, but also warned him that ultimately his wish might not be her wish. Immediately after this, we cut to Casca walking mindlessly on the beach when she comes across a pale-skinned,
What a
dark-haired
waste.
child. The two
Alright, let's go die.
form a mother-child bond.
Ah, come get me.
This was in fact the Demon Child, was Shirkei detecting a mysterious ode coming off of him. Leora covered it up by having her think the child was an emissary from the Flower Storm Monarch, but then he also doubled down by giving Guts and Casca quite possibly their only family moment. Ever since the branded girl met the Moonlight Boy, she started behaving as if she was his mother. The person who usually needed to be tended to was now doing the tending, as she ran around the boy trying to feed him and keep him still. Guts was quite baffled by the boy's appearance, and the boy appeared apprehensive of him at first, but then he climbed on Guts' back in order to get his father to play. The apprehension probably came from the fact that Guts was cleaning his knife, but once the child understood that he wasn't going to be stabbed by them, he decided to let loose. Guts, of course, was happy.
There you go.
He peeled the Moonlight
Oh my God, how did I not get a kill there?
leapt out. Guts dropped the boy directly over his knives, so he dove to save him too. Both of them caught the child at the same time, causing Isidro to exclaim that the three of them looked kind of like
Aw.
once again, with hindsight,
Hey.
he knew just how correct he was. But the
Thanks,
appearance
guys.
of the boy and the instinctive bond he
appreciate
shared with
it.
Casca made Guts think of his demon child for the first time since the incarnation ceremony. He recalled the child being rushed to the summit of the Tower of Conviction.
Man, I
He
suck.
was still wandering out there somewhere.
Thank you.
That the kid was
Thanks guys, I
a long
appreciate
time
it, man.
ago, Skull Knight had told him that all kids yearn to love and protect their parents.
Something good gotta happen playing with launchers as long as I have. Oh my God, I want to explode. Okay, you're on my team. Yay.
His demon child, Guts sensed the presence of evil astral creatures nearby. Turns out these were Ganishka's Pishachagana introducing themselves to the Black Swordsman party, but none of them knew this at the time. Guts went berserk during the fight as he took out
Berserk.
Crocodile and Makara familiars. But the
What?
Moonlight Boy also strangely possessed the power to protect his people. When a familiar approached him and Casca, the Moonlight Boy repelled it with a single look.
I've never been more paranoid in a match.
It calmed down Guts in his berserker state by reminding him what was important. Casca. The Black Swordsman realizes this, but doesn't say anything to Shirkei or the rest. The next morning,
Headshot.
the boy had disappeared, and
Baby.
everyone was confused. He reappeared at the next full moon when Guts and Co. were at Isma's Island, where he once again saved his dad from certain death.
Aha.
As he lie victorious within the sea god's body, his wounds caught up with him, and he started to drown alongside his infernal
I'm coming for you.
who had been accompanying him with her astral body so far, was knocked out of him by the impact of the sea god's death, so she couldn't help him. Isma
Shit.
and her Marrow brethren tried using
We tried.
echolocation to find Guts' position, but but they couldn't reach it. As the Black Swordsman braced for death in a worthless place like the Sea God's Heart Chamber, the Moonlight Boy suddenly showed up and started guiding him to safety.
Oh my god! They got shot from 10 different directions. This is
Howard
pretty
seemed to
usual.
show up whenever he was at his most vulnerable state. To think about it, perhaps he'd have made the connection, but Guts was more
Oh
than a
my
switch.
god, this
Much
is
more
horrible.
than that. This time, he actually sees the Moonlight Boy leaving as he travels across the branches of the World Spiral Tree after giving his parents a look that screamed of longing. We don't know if Guts thought he was hallucinating or not when he saw this, because it happened right after his vision went blurry from him overusing the Berserker armor. But we don't think he noticed it. And yet, this was also
Double.
one of our final red flags about the Moonlight Boy's identity, as the very next person shown to be able
It's
to...
kind of fun, actually, in a really sick and twisted way.
After reaching Elfhelm, Guts convinces the Flower Storm Monarch to help him restore
Boom.
Casca's mind. Shirkei and Farnace then take the branded girl through the Corridor of Dreams, where they literally piece her sanity together bit by bit. The final fragment of Casca's shattered memory resembled the Demon Child, and once again, we think this was Miura-sensei yelling at us that the kid and the Moonlight Boy were one and the same.
I probably shouldn't
Because
have been
right after Casca woke up, the perspective shifted to the east of Falconia, where Griffith was leading his war demons in his latest scheme to keep the humans appeased. After the advent of Fantasia, the only safe place for humanity was at the base of the World Tree, which is where Griffith established Falconia. He now used the pretext of reclaiming lost territory to take out competition from this new world of borders, starting with a few troll-leading giants who also had a pet Hydra. It was pretty cool
Oh.
to see Zod, Grunbeld, Irvine, and the rest get a good showing in, considering the insane hiatuses Berserk was taking around the time Chapter 356 came out. But what was really interesting was the aftermath of the conflict. Griffith asked Sonya, his medium, to locate a certain artifact for him. This artifact turned out to be a Stonehenge formation quite similar to the one Guts took shelter at when the Demon Child warned him about the Incarnation Ceremony. Apparently, these formations were actually gateways that allowed a person connected to the astral world to travel the branches of the World Tree. And this is where the connection between the Moonlight Boy and Griffith was practically spelled out. When the reborn Band of the Falcon returns to Falconia in an instant, thanks to the discovery of what is essentially fast travel checkpoints for Berserk, Yule is brimming with ideas for future campaigns. He says that it would be extremely useful to have sky paths like this, because it would save a lot of time, energy, and effort for military deployments, and while Sonya agrees, she points out that it's impossible to do without her or Griffith in the lead. She says that only people with special perception can see through the countless branches of the tree and make out the correct path towards their destination. Of course, we know that the World Tree is the dragon path of the astral world, and Sonya is really a seer in service of a literal demon king. But that's not the point of this video. The point is, not even Shirkei, who is the strongest magic user outside of Falconia or Elfhelm, has been shown to be able to use the World Spiral Tree for traveling. So unless the Moonlight Boy is an unprecedented magical anomaly that somehow all magic users of the world have failed to account for, he is who Griffith turns into on the nights of a full moon. Miura confirms this in Chapter 364 when he shows us that after a day or so of frolicking with his parents, the Moonlight Boy transforms into Griffith at Elfhelm, who then proceeds to kidnap Casca and wreck the island. See, after that encounter on the Hill of Swords, and going
Oh,
through
did the
one
battle
cycle
pass
of
thing
turning into the
happen?
Moonlight Boy and dreaming for his experiences through his body, Griffith had figured out that the
Oh,
key to
no,
overcoming
that's
this
weird.
weakness of his was to capture Casca.
Oh, yeah.
Because we know that Griffith cannot be harmed by anyone or anything in the physical world that is a part of his story. He has finessed multiple arrow volleys and killer intense swings from Dragonslayer as proof of that, but no one knows whether that same
weird.
sense of being the absolute applies to the Moonlight Boy or not. The Demon Child was already on the verge of death when the egg of the perfect world consumed him, and though he found a new lease on life through Griffith's incarnation, it only lasted about as long as the full moon. The Moonlight Boy might just be vulnerable to weapons imbued with the ability to harm and or kill astral creatures, such as Skull Knight's Sword of Actuation, or worse yet, Guts' Dragon Slayer. Recall that Guts has never clicked with his son since he was born. He knew the Demon Child was his, but he could never quite get over the demon half of him to accept him. This is why when the Moonlight Boy appears, he doesn't put two and two together and doesn't realize that the reason Casca was being so motherly towards it and why it was so scared of him was because it was his child. Guts had tried to kill the Demon Child as soon as it was born, and had antagonized it for most of the time it followed him looking for affection. Now, just because he looked like a boy, he couldn't recognize his own son. And we're not even sure he knows that the Moonlight Boy is the Demon Child, because he thinks that the boy is still out there somewhere, wandering the endless night. And this is where we tie everything back to causality. because the demon child has once again proven to be a fish leaping out of the water at a time juncture where causality seems to have converged. Just like how Guts surviving the apparently inescapable eclipse with Casca and simply breathing every day defies causality, we don't think the birth of this baby was a part of the God Hand's plans. We certainly don't think it being fused into Femto's vessel for a body of flesh because of an apostle's sentimentality was part of their plan. And we think that although Griffith has kept that aura of otherworldly austerity about him ever since he came back to life, he is freaking out inside because he knows that a literal meddling kid is about to snatch his dreams away from him. We think Griffith kidnapping Casca and bringing her to Falconia was a way of him getting ahead of a problem, because like many in the fandom, we think the Moonlight Boy is fated for tragedy. Guts already thinks he's a father killer. He has never quite let go of Gambino's death, or the fact that he nearly violated Casca like Griffith. Right now, he is in the bowels of his despair, and no one is sure what his next action is going to be. Those who say that Guts will just get up and keep struggling are wrong, because for the first time in the entire series, he has let go of his sword willingly. If Guts does recover from this spiral, will he be willing to commit the unspeakable and go through with what Miura was seemingly setting up for the Moonlight Boy before his tragic passing? Or will he manage to struggle and contend his way out of this hell as well? We'll have to wait for chapter 372 to find out. Marvelous verdict. And that's it for this one. The Demon Child is one of those characters that tends to get overlooked because he was only adapted for one anime, and sadly it was the 2016 one. But he's been influencing Berserk's story since literally day one. With the next installment in the saga under Kujimori's leadership dropping next week, we can't wait to see where things go from the end of chapter 371, when Griffith returned to Falconia with Casca in his arms. It's possible that 372 will open in Falconia, and what happens then is anybody's guess. But what's your guess? Let us know about it in the comment section below, and also tell us what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you know someone who could use some Berserk content in their lives, don't forget to share this video with them. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there.
Oh my god.
Apostle we meet during the Black Swordsman arc makes it clear to everyone reading Berserk.
No Pringles for you.
Things were
Pringle man.
pushed to its absolute limits and given a human form. Well, mostly.
Who's calling
The
me?
Snake Lord made it very clear to us that all most apostles cared about was crushing people and eating
Oh,
bones,
nobody.
vice versa. The slug count continued that maddening trend, but showed that at least an apostle can retain a shred of their humanity, despite having literally traded it for immense power as a demon. But it is the third apostle we meet in the reading order, and the first within Berserk's in-universe timeline, that throws everything that an apostle is supposed to be out of the window, despite embodying what they are down to a
What?
T. The immortal enigma known as Nosferatu Zod is worshipped by some, not believed to be real by others, but feared and revered by everyone who lives by the sword. He is the first apostle that Guts ever met.
Man, this
One who
challenge
knows his
sucks.
true fate, and the only one so far who doesn't want to outright eat him without getting a good fight out of him. In many ways, Zod's actions control the story of Berserk, and we're going to tell you how. This is Nosferatu Zod's origins explored. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The Band of the Falcon's first real challenge turns out to be an immortal war god, Nosferatu Zod's first appearance. In the 3 years that Guts spends with Griffith's Band of the Falcon, he manages to rise up to the position of Raiders captain, and now leads a platoon of at least 500 men. Their legendary exploits during the 100-Year War between Midland and Endor...
Dude, for real? Oh my god. Alright, hold on, I gotta deal with this guy.
Ingenious Griffith's battle plans failed to deliver on his promises, and Guts' sword was a huge factor in seeing those plans come into fruition. But now, at this two-door fortress that the Band of the Falcon was besieging, An unexpected situation had arisen. Guts had sent 50 of his raiders into the inner citadel of the fortress to ensure its surrender. None of them had returned. When Griffith and the rest of the band heard this, Judo brought up a rumor he had heard during the campaign which kind of sets the tone for the character we are exploring today. He murmurs the name Zod to himself, and when Rickert overhears and repeats it out loud, an eerie silence falls over the White Falcon's forces. Judo explains that before this battle commenced, he had heard that the Tudor armies had added a person.
This is
called
insane,
Zod
man.
to their
Man,
ranks.
yes.
This immediately unnerves both Rickert and Corcus, the latter of whom had been berating Guts' raiders for failing in such a pathetic fashion up until now. Casca, at least, seems to be aware of Zod's legend, but Pippin is clueless, so Rickert fills us in. Amongst mercenary bands and warriors of a regular army alike, the name Zod was both worshipped and feared. He was a legendary swordsman who would cut through hundreds, if not thousands, of enemies on the battlefield. But his demonic swordplay wasn't the only reason Zod put the fear of God within men's minds. You see, every time a rumor went about that Zod had finally died, he would resurface on some other battlefield a world apart from the last one he was seen at, as if to spite the non-believers into realizing his own legend was true. And what's worse is, he had been doing this for the past 100 years at the very least, which is about as long as Midland's current war with Tudor had lasted. People revered Zod as a god of the battlefield, and due to his seemingly undying status, they dubbed him Nosferatu, aka the Immortal One. As Corcus and Rickert agree about the man's very existence, Judo muses that such a challenge would make Guts leap into it head first, and indeed, that's exactly what happens. After watching 50 of his men die at the hands of a single swordsman, and Dilos literally die in his arms muttering Zod's name, only God himself could have stopped him from entering that stronghold, and his presence was in short supply. Guts walks into the citadel determined to avenge his fallen comrades, but pales at the first sight of Nosferatu Zod, with a couple of dead falcons hanging from his massive sword. Guts charges Zod immediately, but is hurled back by the corpses of the very comrades he was here to save in the first place. He is gripped in place by Zod's overwhelming presence, but has no time to come to grips with his own fear because Zod was on the move. The hulking brute swung his sword so hard at Guts that he destroyed a pillar supporting the room they were in, but the swordsman was able to counter and parry well enough to not die immediately. This leaves the purported god of warfare ecstatic, as his sword had not been stopped like this in the last 50 years, showing us that what Zod truly values in life is the absolute maximum of strength. He is an expert swordsman who is able to read his opponent's intent in a matter of seconds, as he demonstrates when he deduces Guts' plan to end the fight with one single strike. He wagers that Guts' confidence comes from the length of his blade, but is confident that his brains will be on the floor before he can complete his mad gamble. Zod accepts this swordsman's challenge and engages him, but to his utter surprise, Guts not only manages to break his sword, but also drive his own sword deep into Zod's right shoulder, slicing into both his arms. No human could have survived such a heavy blow from the raider captain of the Band of the Falcon, but alas, Zod was not a human after all. As he reveled in the fact that Guts had managed to cut him so deep, Zod let slip the fact
Scooby-Dooby-Doo,
pushed him this far in his 300 years of slaughter, as he transformed into a massive horned black lion-esque figure and prepared for round 2. For the first time in his life, Guts was terrified of facing an opponent in the field of battle, and in this case, he would be justified. Zod was quite literally unlike anything he had faced before. The Immortal One was delighted by the fact that Guts had even pushed him far enough to show his true form, and relishes the blood boiling through his veins at the moment. He thinks his 300 years of existence had been validated by someone as worthy as Guts, and demands that the swordsman continue to fight him, and not leave him disappointed with the action. Guts is still trying to process the fact that a monster like Zod can even exist. He is practically motionless when Zod
out of 15.
treats him like his personal ragdoll. After smashing a couple of pillars with the swordsman's body, Zod is amused at his retaliation, which couldn't even place a dent on his left horn, and he just starts laughing like a madman. He slams Guts into yet another pillar and asks him if that was all the fight he had left in him. Zod retracts that statement and says Guts fought well for a human, but even if he had nothing left in the tank, Nosferatu Zod was not one who'd shown mercy to an opponent. He picks Guts up and prepares to rip him apart just like the rest of his raiders when Griffith arrives with a rescue team in tow. The Band of the Falcons stun Zod by firing a volley of crossbow bolts at him and letting loose another volley before he has time to recover. Zod is understandably pissed off by this development and lunges at the band for defiling his sacred battle with Guts. Griffith manages to make it to his raider captain as the death of his comrades keeps Zod distracted. He orders Casca to withdraw and is just about to escape with Guts when Zod corners them once again, claiming their fight would not be over until Guts' heart stopped beating. Zod attacks Griffith at the same time, intent on ripping them to shreds, but is halted in his tracks by a pincer move they execute at the last moment, which
What up,
actually
Brody?
causes him to lose his left arm. He is over the moon by this
He's bullying you.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, look at my arm.
after wandering
Oh, why don't you use a stick or something to play with him? Like,
No, I wasn't trying to play with him. He just came
well,
up to
that's
me.
why he's doing it though, is because he wants to play.
No, I
He's-
did play with him, and they just like stopped playing with me.
Oh well, okay. Then I guess stop playing with him.
he
I
decides to kill
then he like attacked my face. He's like, hey, come play with me. I'm like, what do you want from me?
Oh my gosh, child, you are wild.
one's advance.
Hey,
His pendant that Griffith keeps on himself.
Hey, it's
Zod
me
is
and my
shocked
mess.
into taking a few steps
they're kicking in.
as an apostle.
I know.
He knows
No, they are.
exactly what Griffith's
I can tell.
blood charm is supposed to
He's
be.
just shining.
Hears out loud
The shine,
that
yes.
him could possess the egg of the king.
I should be part of the shining.
And murmurs to himself
Rather you didn't. It's a horrible life.
that this must be that kind of
They usually all become alcoholics and whatnot to deal with it because all they do is hear like dead people and evil spirits.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, that's the, well.
Your voices are back.
Jack Nicholson's not one of the ones that shine. It's the son Danny that shines. He can see the evil spirit that's affecting his dad.
like a demon from hell. The immortal one,
Brody, this is the most amazing thing that's happening. I'm stuck in a smoke grenade in like in a sea can killing people. I just killed so many people with a riot shield.
especially the man,
What?
It's pretty great.
Nosferatu Zod's introduction
You bash them repeatedly.
separate chapters, but in his first appearance, he showed us that not only
He's like, I've come for you. Where did you go? We're not done.
his life, and
Oh, I should have got that. I hit him right in the head with a rocket launcher. What's that about?
That he's invincible.
preparing for the
Oh, apparently everyone's running the Juggernaut, so that sucks. Oh my god, that's so loud. Stop being loud, game.
path for Femto's ascension and acted as its immortal guardian. Zod's involvement with the eclipse
Want to hear
and
the
the
ringing
skull.
again?
The next
No,
time
no,
it appears,
I really don't. That was hell.
he expected him.
Oh, I got killed.
Unexpected.
Brody, I will throw you like I threw you yesterday at the swimming pool. You remember that? I could have threw you farther, and I think next time I will. I'm just gonna launch you like a football.
Moscone's heavy axe has split Guts' sword into two.
I just hit some balls.
I'm not gonna throw you into a wall. Come on. Oh, I got 50 followers on Twitch. Yay me.
Horseback and
Wait, is that
his
enough
massive
to make
curved
money?
sword on
I'm not sure actually. If it is, it'd be like pennies, but still,
Still money.
it's still money. It's something.
Still money.
which the swordsman
Actually, that's right. I could hang it over your mother. It's like, hey, I'm working my second job here,
is perplexed by the sword
playing video games.
physical
Oh, I missed.
where he remembers the fight against Zod like it had happened yesterday.
Well, if you make it, it's that's the thing though. Is how many freaking what's his face? How many sure, how many ninjas are there, right?
More about it in
It's one guy.
appearance, which takes place 40 full chapters later in the last panel of
How many
chapter
Mr.
68.
Beasts are there?
Also wild,
Where'd he go?
brink
Oh,
of death,
ran away.
to torture the
Yeah, exactly, right?
With like all his money.
of the goddess.
I don't understand why he has so much money. I don't get it, because well, and that's fine, whatever. But my point is what I don't get about it is that like,
Should have Battle on him, but when wild,
what was my point? It was
he flips his
Oh, his like production value of his videos is pretty expensive. Like he does like he gets hundreds of people and they do these things, and it's like that is not a cheap endeavor. So it surprises me is all.
Oh, the whole thing is that he literally said this like in an interview. Is that he does like his main channel like once a month.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I get it. Yeah, he has a good system with the way his channels work out for multiple streams of income. But it's like what I don't get is like, okay, if that's so successful, then why doesn't every streamer do that?
Because they don't have enough money.
They have nothing but money, right?
Yeah,
you
but
need.
spending like billions of dollars per video.
I don't know about billions, but
Spend millions
okay, yeah.
per video, and I don't think they want to spend millions. Plus, he's not a Twitch streamer. He's a
Well, yeah, whatever. It's all the same to me. Like it's just your platform, right? There's now a new one that's trying to break through. That's Kick.
Like gaming.
That's where it started, but honestly, it wouldn't be fair to even call it that because there's so many different people that do things. Like hold on, let me just mute my thing here. There's so many different things. Like there's like a lot of women on here just do the just chatting, and they just.
I'm dead.
Oh, it's you. What do you call it? And that's like a popular thing is people that are just like hanging out to chat, right? Like it's. Aw, it's too fast for me. Too fast for me.
Too fast. You're too slow.
Oh dear God, we're on fire. Everybody's on fire.
I'm on fire.
Oh my God. Okay. Man, can I just spawn in a place that isn't 2 feet away from
Death.
500 other people? Like, come on, just you find a corner.
Gold is for your rock.
I got my golden for my riot shield
How?
from hitting people very lots. Like this. Ah! Ah!
How do you kill people with a riot shield? That doesn't even make sense. Oh, my leg's broken.
What now, buddy? Where's your god now? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No, dude, damn it.
Nice. Now just a 5-minute reload here. Do. Nope. Aw. God damn it, really? No!
Dang it.
There.
I'm in trouble. Yay.
Aw. I'm in danger.
Are you good?
Oh, I'm in danger. Because every time I fire one of these rockets, it's like a 5-minute reload. There we go.
Oh, cool.
You can't run from the Lord! Okay.
What if I am the Lord? Oh.
Oh my god. It's a draw! Could you believe it? Didn't even know that's possible.
I pushed the wrong button, now I have to restart this whole mission.
Oh darn.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, scratchy scratch. Scratchy scratch.
What are you looking at?
Oh, there we go.
It looks like I'm just climbing up this dead guy's hands. This, give me your helmet.
That's right.
Nowhere else.
such a deep despair that he couldn't even properly end his own life. In that despair, the Crimson Battlelet returned to his hand, and he activated it.
There's been
The apostles for the
7,002.
nocturnal feast known as
What?
the Eclipse. Griffith learned that in order to realize his dream, he must reincarnate
Oh, wow.
himself as a demonic angel and complete the God Hand, condemning his
Popular
comrades for
program, I
sin.
guess.
And he does it.
Popular name, I
Zod,
guess.
who is also an apostle, should in theory be present for the feast that follows.
What time does the pool open? Noon?
Inside the interstice,
1,
because he
okay.
knows who will be arriving soon
One
in order
o'clock
to
exactly
disrupt this
to-
sacred ceremony. In his lifetime, Zod
To 4,
became a
okay.
legend,
Yeah.
not only amongst
Because
humans,
on
but
Fridays
also
it's open longer.
apostles, as one of the
And on
strongest of
weekends
their
it's open
kind.
forever.
His sole purpose for existing was to
What's
seek
it
out the ultimate fighter who could give him the battle of his life. Many a human and apostle had fallen to his blade in his seemingly unattainable quest for the perfect battle. But the one man who kept surviving was a wraith who had wandered through the land of the dead for 1,000 years. Knowing his true motivations, Zod was sure that the man would show up for the fifth eclipse as well, and he was proven right when
I wonder
Skull
if there's
Knight
any
galloped up to
completing the
him
game
and
with a
prepared to engage. If you want to know
Maybe.
more about him,
Google
check out
the hidden achievements.
this video.
No, no, no,
Enough self-promotion. Zod seemed almost
Okay,
convinced
well
to
then
have
do
been
that.
right in
I was
predicting
just, like,
Skull
making
Knight
a
would
joke.
show up. After
I wanna
all,
get all
he
the
was an enemy
achievements.
of the Inhumans, and Skull Knight presumed that he was given the duty of guarding the doorway to the interstice, given the Immortal One's clear importance in the God Hand's design. But Zod refutes that statement by reminding Skull Knight what he truly values as a being with
Yeah,
supernatural
poor
strength.
thing.
Despite being an apostle, he has no
Worth
interest
it.
in participating in his brethren's gluttonous appetites, because he only values the strong, which his old rival should remember well. Skull Knight wagers himself upon his sword, and the two rivals duke it out.
Ooh, I feel like I should have got a double for that.
Skull
Alright.
Knight and Nosferatu Zod are the definition of two warriors destined to do this forever.
Ah!
On this occasion, Zod's opponent
Enjoy
manages to
that.
best him and take off his left arm once again. When Skull Knight re-emerges from the
Ooh.
interstice, he is more annoyed by what just happened than enraged, telling his opponent to not think that this has changed anything. To his surprise, Skull Knight not only agreed with him,
Oh God, no,
but
no.
also asked him to delay their encounter,
Ow.
which he had never done before. Zod was ready to crush him just for that slight when he saw the reason why. Guts had managed to survive the eclipse. The Immortal One's battle lust only intensified upon witnessing Guts' mad love, but he acquiesced to his rival's request and put their encounter
Fuck.
on hold for now. He also suggested that Skull Knight scram soon, because once the feast was over, the apostles would burst out of the interstice. But as he witnessed his old rival disappearing with his companions in tow, he eternally relished the opportunity of witnessing Guts struggle
Really?
with his brethren now that he had been branded. The foremost soldier of the Falcon of Light, Nosferatu Zod finds his life's purpose. For the next
I didn't even
2
see
years,
him.
the Immortal One returned to the life he led before he had encountered Guts, slaughtering random soldiers in search of his ultimate desired opponent. After taking care of a band of 300 mercenaries all by himself, Zod wonders who could ever fulfill his ultimate wish. He thinks back on the countless humans and apostles he has defeated, thinking that only the wretch called Skull Knight could even come close to giving him the fight of his life. His thoughts wander to Guts for a moment as well, as the Black Swordsman rampage through the apostles has only increased his interest in the mortal. But as he thinks about his ultimate desire once again, a strange event occurs. Zod is visited by a falcon made out of blinding white light within his subconscious. When he thinks of his ultimate desire, and the Immortal One questions why this is happening, the falcon replies that what he sought were not words, which Zod instantly understands to be an invitation for a fight. That what he seeks is only strength as he transforms into
Okay, I think after this double
double
XP token, I'm gonna like take a break from leveling guns because I might like get brain damage.
chops off Zod's left horn clean off his head, something Guts had failed to even dent in their first encounter. Zod thinks to himself that this must be a dream, but the wound on his forehead, the blood spilling from it, and the horn on the ground prove him wrong. For the first time in his life, Nosferatu Zod has been attacked and utterly defeated in a way that cleaved through his physical and astral bodies at the same time. In a complete state of disbelief, Zod looks up at the sky and the carrion crows circling the blood-soaked battlefield.
Oh,
Gives him his desired
the fucking door got in my way.
thereafter. Sure enough, the prophecy turned out to be right. his astral self, Femto's physical incarnation, aka Griffith. Everyone who was looking at their interaction could not help but feel mesmerized by it. Even the invading Kushan soldiers who had surrounded Guts and the forces of the Holy See present in St. Albion. The master of the Backyard, Silent, ordered Griffith's capture by any means necessary. And Zod, who had been kneeling at Griffith's feet, immediately slayed every advancing Kushan in a protective rage. The Immortal One then departed from the scene with his master in tow, pledging his support for the new world that Femto was about to create. His first task as the foremost beacon talon of the Falcon of Light was to engage the still-living counterpart.
Why can't I...
His eternal enemy. Griffith
that's annoying.
Who was unaware of everything that had happened during the eclipse on the Hill of Swords the latter had created. Guts saw them together and naturally tried to protect his friend Rickard from this literal demon in human skin, lunging at Griffith and demanding an answer as to why he had appeared before them here, of all places. Griffith tells Guts it was to reaffirm his faith in his own dream by checking whether he still felt any human emotions or not. Turns out he didn't, which pissed Guts off enough to swing a Dragon Slayer at his head, but his massive heap of raw iron was stopped dead in its tracks by an equally massive Kushan Ramdar, revealing Nosferatu Zod as Griffith's personal shield. Their second encounter is much fiercer than the first, and Guts' improvement in swordplay only serves to excite Zod even further. Their battle sees Guts actually crack Zod's sword once again, so the Immortal One switches up his battle style and starts using the swords buried in the hill as grave markers for the former Band of the Falcon. Guts manages to use the landscape to his advantage, and Zod transforms into his apostle form, keeping the pressure up. Their battle destroys the elfin cave that acted as Casca and Guts' shelter from evil spirits.
Oh, okay, I got one guy. I was gonna say, what?
Surprised by his own actions, the Falcon of Light commands Zod to stop playing around and carry him off to start fulfilling his dream, which is exactly what the Immortal One does. Zod is the first apostle to pledge his sword to the Falcon of Light, but he isn't the last. As Griffith leads a two-man assault on invaded Kushan forces alongside Zod, the apostles Locus, Grunfeld, and Rakshas show up and pledge themselves to Griffith's cause, becoming the Falcon's beak and talons, and Zod becomes Griffith's primary war demon leader in the reborn Band of the Falcon. He leads the charge into Flora's mansion and engages the Skull Knight there, surprised to find his old rival fighting for the sake of a woman he wins. The two eternal rivals are fighting half-heartedly because the object of their attention is the Black Swordsman, who emerges from a hole in the ground as an entirely different beast. Zod recognizes the Berserker armor with one look and questions if Skull Knight wants Guts to follow the same hellish path as him. But the enigmatic knight remains silent. The two cease fighting and behold the mad spectacle that is the Berserker armor in action, as Guts leaps towards Grunfeld and manages to defeat the Apostle even in his dragon form. The Black Swordsman couldn't save the witch herself,
Really?
And the reborn Band of the Falcon retreated, having accomplished their task. The next time we see Zod is when the War Demons are commanded to attack Emperor Ganishka's mist form in Vertanis. The Immortal One, who had no trouble dealing with any apostle so far, can't even manage to land a blow on the Emperor, but is conversely the only war demon who can survive Ganishka's lightning bolts. Being struck down by an especially powerful bolt and brought down to Earth, Zod encounters Guts once again, but this time a prophecy forces him to make a different choice than his usual one. Sonya, Griffith's medium, had predicted that Zod would be forced to either team up with Guts or fight him in a futile effort real soon. And this was that moment. When Zod took flight again, he found Guts clinging to his back and reluctantly agreed to team up with the Black Swordsman. Together, they managed to pinpoint and pierce through Ganishka's mist form's weak point thanks to the Dragon Slayer's astral properties. But when they hit the ground again, it was back to business as usual. Zod demanded that Guts prepare to fight him once again, but when Guts agreed to his demand, he changed his mind. Zod was present at ground zero of the great war of the astral world, when the physical and metaphysical collided to bring the world back to a state of Fantasia, and was the leader of the Falcons who defeated a group of giants. He was also the last person who Guts has fought canonically as of now, because after Griffith's invasion of Elfhelm, Zod engaged Guts long enough for Griffith to kidnap Casca before bringing him back to Falconia in the latest chapter, 371. We know a crap ton of stuff about exactly why Nosferatu Zod was the first apostle we met in the Berserk timeline. He is one of Guts' main enemies and serves as a gauge of the swordsman's grip on his Beast of Darkness. Round 1 was overwhelmingly in Zod's favor, whereas round 2 was more or less even. Who knows if there will be a round 3 anytime soon, but with the state Guts was in chapter 371, we doubt he'd come out of it alive. Zod is also important for Griffith, whose path towards ascendance is something he was directly involved with, implying he can, to a certain extent, understand the flow of causality. He is one of the strongest apostles by far, even more dangerous than someone like Grunbeld or Irvin in my opinion. So, who exactly is Zod? Well, we have a broad idea. Who was Nosferatu Zod in his previous life? To understand who Zod was in his previous life, we must first understand who Zod is as an apostle. The concept of an apostle in Berserk works very differently to what we know from our world, in that these creatures are literal demonic beings powered by the flow of evil energy. Apostles are created when a person with the right qualities receives a Behelit and activates it at the moment of their greatest despair. This moment is usually one that breaks their entire faith in the world and reduces them to a shell of their former humanity. In essence, it shatters their ambition and soul. At that moment, the Behelit transports its holder to the interstice, where that person communes with the God Hand and receives a second life, one that has already been sacrificed to the abyss. Apostles are given only one maxim by the God Hand: to do as they will, to kill as they will, to devour as they will. This illusion of free will is in reality, all apostles are subservient to the God Hand and will serve them when summoned to their
break into
They also
seizures.
seek to go berserk in the presence of their guardian angels and have an innate desire to commit depraved acts, especially those that violate core societal taboos like cannibalism and violation of consent. Literally every apostle we meet is a paragon of debauchery up until the Millennium Falcon arc, except Zod.
How do I
For
do
Nosferatu
this?
Zod, everything, including his own demonic
okay.
strength, is in
Can I just
service of
dry
a
fire this,
and
or-
strong one who can awaken a battle.
Oh, that
and
sucks.
Zod is the one invoked by the Berserker armor itself, and preferably kill him while they're at it.
This might be a
The
problem.
reason Zod is called the Immortal One is because no one has been capable of accomplishing
Okay,
that
you know what,
to
on this-
date. Not even the Skull.
I'm gonna have to
His
change that.
dedication to battle and
Let's
his
go back
incredible skills at
to the-
swordplay
actually-
At the very least, he was an extremely skilled warrior
Okay.
when he lived. In fact, he could have been the chief of a war tribe, given the way he usually dresses and the level of battle intellect he clearly possesses. It is unclear as to when Zod received his Behelit, or what caused him to activate it, but we can make a few references from what Sonya says to him in chapter
Ooh,
277.
bummer.
When she tells the Immortal One that he will have to choose between fighting and allying with his nemesis in Britannis, she also tells him that his counterpart will have to do the same. When Zod asks who this counterpart might be, she tells him it's the one you're drawn to. Naturally, our minds go immediately to Skull Knight because of the sheer history that exists between the two of them. But we know from the events we recalled earlier that the counterpart is none other than Guts. What makes things interesting here is the fact that Sonya calls Guts Zod's counterpart, implying that the two of them essentially serve the same role within the story. And if this statement holds true for their pasts, then it's possible
Ah, what are the
he
odds?
was forced to give up his beloved in exchange for absolute mastery over the battlefield. In that regard, his story could be quite similar to Griffith as well, because it is a fact that when apostles arise,
Why, hello, cat. How are you?
intensifies to the nth degree.
I appear to be getting shot.
To get there, they must first be broken.
I wish your butt wasn't like right in the way of this guy, but that's okay. I'm using a shield, so
Zod has, on multiple occasions,
Go over there.
shown that he has a melancholic side to him. He truly regrets the fact that the Skull Knight is the only one powerful enough to stand
Ow.
toe-to-toe with him. And the only reason Guts excites him is because he is basically becoming Skull Knight 2.0. So here's what we think happened. 300 years ago, a war chief who possessed a Behelit and was renowned
Okay,
as a
Cat.
on the battlefield ended
I love
up
you,
falling
but
into
come on.
deep despair when he lost an important fight, which was a make-or-break type situation. Broken by his defeat, the warrior
Very good.
who once resolved to become the strongest was now forced to face the consequences of not being the strongest himself. As a result of his despair, he ended up activating his Behelit and sacrificing the thing that kept his soul tethered to humanity, and emerged emerged on the other side as Nosferatu Zod, with his purpose of seeking the ultimate strong one restored in his demonic reincarnation. Many people think Zod shares a connection to Skull Knight and King Geiserich simply because Geiseric's skull helmet also had a lion motif on it. But we think that's quite a stretch, simply because Zod explicitly states that he's doing what he does best.
How's it going?
Killing people brutally.
What's up?
300
Smelling
years.
something.
Nah, it smells something he likes.
Outside the Eclipse's interstice, he's clearly aware of the fact that Skull Knight has been opposing the Godhead for a millennia.
No, you stay away from the cord.
Said as much.
Oh,
This is
goddamn.
taken
I'll have
as
to
a
coat
sign
that.
by some that
And-
Zod must have known Skull Knight back when he was Geiserich as well.
Tigger.
Okay, cat,
Was a
come on.
part of Geiserich himself
I love you,
and
but come on.
somehow expelled from his being and given corporeal form. Additionally, thanks to his numerous encounters with the apostles and even the Godhead,
Oh, what the fuck?
seems to have an understanding of the way causality works, where he was able to deduce exactly what the true sacrificial ceremony Griffiths would be just by seeing his attachment to the Band of the Hawk. It is not true
I
that
lost
all
track of
apostles
that guy.
discern
Don't know where he went.
causality, but because Zod seemingly can, and so can the Skull Knight, which leads to that comparison.
Oh my god.
This is simply
Tigger.
not possible. And
Okay,
there is no
cat.
simple
Yeah, go over there.
explanation why Zod and Skull Knight know each other, and that is the fourth eclipse. If Zod has
Really?
been an apostle for 300 years,
That dude took like 2 rockets to the chest and still didn't die.
placed 216 years
Stay down there.
Femtos. Skull Knight has been struggling against
Stay
the
down there
Inhumans
with
for
the
millennia, so it isn't an exaggeration to say that he attacked the premises of the fourth eclipse as well, where he would have inadvertently clashed with Zod. He isn't above
No.
attacking apostles.
It's fine,
in his
just
quest
leave
to
him.
find
I'll
his
do the
desire
thing
for the
after.
strong one. As for where this war chief of old might have originated from, our best guess based purely on character design would have to be the eastern territories of the human continent. Also, based on the fact that Zod's armor looks a lot like contemporary Kushan armor. That is, when he decides to wear it. The fact that he is subservient to the God Hand to the level that he would kill Wild to see the effect of causality play out in its intended form can be taken as proof of his previous life as a soldier. For most of the reborn Band of the Falcon members who resist their baser instincts are all men who have served in a military capacity beforehand. Despite being Griffith's primary mode of transport and his most trusted frontline soldier, he remains an enigma to his own comrades and is still solely sustained by his battle wounds. In 2017, we got a rare spin-off from the main Berserk storyline in the form of the Flame Dragon Knight's Tale,
Hi.
which expanded upon Runebeld's backstory.
How's it going?
Don't expect something like that to come out again. So for now, this is all we can tell you about Nosferatu Zod's true origins. Marvelous verdict. All Zod's background before
Back time.
Yeah.
his quest for fighting the ultimate
Because it
strong
like came out with the vents.
That's funny.
It's terrifying.
so sure.
This I just come on see. It's so
Attack
god.
his master, the Vulcan of Light. As Berserk seemingly goes on yet another
Those
hiatus,
reptiles.
the answers to those questions will
Alright, so I got this drill at level 11, which unlocks the ability for it to...
Just like quiet.
We are confident that at
have
some
to get
point
kills
we will learn of his origins through Koji Mori's direction. For now, we are content with staying a world away from
One more
these
game and then I'll
things
go
that
grab a
human terrorists.
coffee.
All puns fully intended. Because if even apostles can be terrified of Zod's devotion to the grand scheme of the God Hand, then is there anything that a human can truly do to stop him? That's it for now, but if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. This has been Corey Whelan for Marvelous Videos. Have a good one, be safe out there, and thanks for watching.
Make it before all those reptiles come. Oh god. Oh, that was the fan. Oh god, I'm dying by a fan.
Oh my god.
Reptiles. You can't catch me, right?
You are not a graceful creature.
We know you guys have been
Cat.
waiting for this video for a long time, so here it finally is. There are many things in this world that seem right in the moment, but are wrong in the grander scheme of things. Indulgence is a vice that seems harmless, but once you see the kind of depravity it can induce in people, you really start to think
no,
twice
not
about
Chad.
letting yourself go in a pleasurable moment. Once you lose yourself to it, there is no coming back to normalcy, and that sentence is Slan personified. She is lust incarnate. Her mind works on a single track basis, and that track usually involves two bodily fluids that should be nowhere near each other. And to make things worse, or we guess better if you swing her way, she
Oh
is
my.
the second God Hand member to be fixated with guts, which makes us think there's no way the Black Swordsman gets out of this story as a human at his core. But who was this sinful demon mother in her previous life, and how did she become who she is today? We'll get into all
Yeah,
of
that made up
more
for it.
in this video. This is Slan's Origins Explore. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing
Gross.
to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot.
Hmm.
Thank you. Let's begin. She's based on a species of evolved humans from one of sci-fi's seminal creations, Slan by A.E. Van Vogt. A lot of science fiction and fantasy stories use their expansive and wondrous settings
I'm a
to tell
dumbass.
tales that are at their core human. Dune is a story about why you should never follow one man's word blindly. A Song of Ice and Fire gives you a front seat to the human casualties that the Game of Thrones extracts from the world, fantasy or otherwise. A.E. Van Vogt's Slan is a story about minority persecution in a world where evolved humans exist, and how things are never quite what they seem to be. The title of this novel is actually the name of the evolved human species that form the core of Van Vogt's story. Allegedly created by a man named Samuel Land, this species of humans is different from their Homo sapiens brethren thanks to a key evolutionary trait. They possess the power of telepathy. Don't get us wrong, all Slans are physically far superior than an average human, with muscles like steel cords and agility that would put Usain Bolt to shame. They could even regenerate themselves when fatally injured by entering a healing trance, which comes in handy when a Slan is struck by a life-threatening disease or something. But their greatest strength is their telepathic abilities. Even amongst Slans, there are two types of telepaths, showing that even this evolved state of humans had diversity within it. One type of Slans had all the physical and mental superiority of this evolved species, but they lacked psionic powers besides the ability to shield their own thoughts from their superior counterparts. The reason they were superior was because they possessed tendrils that allowed them to read the minds of humans
God.
and telepathically communicate with other Slans. This effectively meant that no one besides the inferior Slans could shield their thoughts from them, and it made them an easy target for adherents of freedom. Well, that and the fact that their tendrils were golden, which made them a sitting duck for any hunter
Fuck
with enough
off.
skill. The story focuses on the life of 9-year-old Jommy Cross, a telepathic Slan who was killed on his way to his species capital because his party was ambushed and his mother was killed. Now,
Nope.
he's the last hope of his kind, because turns out the Slans were being hunted down by mankind, down to the last member of their species. Johnny's journey sees him go up against dictator Keir Gray, but at the end of his path, he discovers
This is
an unsettling truth about his
painful.
own race. Slan is a melodramatic mess, which often acts too grand for what it is, but it remains a classic regardless for how well it interprets the idea of minority persecution. It just goes to show you how someone can be persecuted for being different, but that doesn't mean that something shady isn't going on behind the scenes. Secret cabals that control the world sounds insane to us, but it's the reality that the inhabitants of Van Vogt's Earth have to live with. This all sounds very similar to a certain group of goat worshippers we find just outside St. Albion and Berserk, and you'll see what we mean by that in a few minutes. Slan, the novel, is a paradoxical
Dude, you gonna, like,
journey
shoot
through
him,
life
or-
for a young man who bears the destiny of his kind upon his back. Slan, the character, is a demonic succubus who derives pleasure from the paradox of emotions, and she makes that very evident in her first appearance. So let's get down to it and talk about Slan Sama's debut. She is the most impressed and impressive member of the God Hand, Slan's introduction to Berserk. No group of demonic entities can ever truly be called complete if it doesn't come with at least one succubus, and that is also the case for the God Hand. Slan debuts alongside the rest of her kinsmen towards the end of Guardian Angels of Desire Part 4, and despite not being the centerpiece of this entire episode, she kind of is, if you know what we mean. After the Count's blood, despair, and deep desire to live flow into and activate his behelit, the God Hand descends upon his castle, as it is swallowed by an interstice. The Black Swordsman is enraged by the appearance of an angel he calls Griffin, and tries to lunge at him to no avail. The Count is only concerned with Guts' death, so he immediately calls out to Archangel Void to grant him his wish and avenge him by killing the Black Swordsman, but Void flatly refuses. When the Count asks why, Slan explains the way his desire works in conjunction with the Behelit's activation. What cleaved open space and summoned the God Hand to his
Really?
castle was nothing more than an over-attachment to life and a deep fear of death. It wasn't any personal hatred towards Guts specifically. It was this desire desire to live that had summoned the God Hand, and no amount of begging was going to change their minds about this. Not even the fact that this man was an enemy of demonkind, which only drew laughter from the Count's guardian angels. Well, that and dismissal. Amongst all this trolling, Guts gets up
stuck.
and manages to advance towards Griffith without falling flat on his back, which impresses Slan. She is, let's say, touched by his fighting spirit and willpower, and this becomes a recurring thing for pretty much the entire series. Slan is slightly disappointed when Guts finally passes out after coming close enough to Femto, but she is delighted by his recovery swing at him. Though it ultimately fails, it leaves a deep enough impression on her for her to want him to join their ranks. Conrad points out that Guts wasn't ordained by causality to ascend, so that wouldn't be possible, but that doesn't stop Slan from fawning over him. Yet it is at this very moment that Void calls for an end to the sideshow and begins proceedings for the main event. The Archangel of Demonkind demands a sacrifice from the Count, and when he once again offers the Black Swordsman, Void tells him that it isn't good enough. Conrad reveals that since Guts was already marked, he couldn't be sacrificed twice, and Slan elaborates upon the nature of the reincarnation ceremony. The Invocation of Doom did not simply accept any lump of flesh and blood as its intended sacrifice. In order to ascend into a higher form of existence, a person's human heart must be frozen by the evil that permeates the God Hand's demonic existence. That means that they would have to sacrifice someone so close to them that they defined their humanity, and losing them would be akin to losing a part of one's own soul. Since Guts was just the Count's enemy, his life wasn't nearly as worthy for sacrifice as, say, his daughter's. When the Count asks if there wasn't any other way, Slan tells him that any other sacrifice would just be meaningless. Ubik just asks him to do what he did last time, and this is when we get the truth behind the death of Teresia's mother. As the child comes to terms with what her father did to just continue living, the God Hand presses the Count to go through with it. Slan reminds him that his life belonged to them anyway, so it wasn't as if by redeeming himself here he was going to rest in peace in heaven. Femto shows him where his soul was going to end up as he summons a portion of the abyss called Hell, and Slan informs all gathered that this is the fate of all those tangled with demonkind. They either resist and die, or die anyway, ending up as a part of the vortex of souls. She tells him that once his child belongs to demonkind, he would be delivered from his pain, but the Count chooses otherwise. As the thread of fate is severed, the Count's soul is dragged into the abyss. The spirits of the dead also try to take Guts with them, seeing as he was a demonic sacrifice and all, but the Black Swordsman defiantly fires off a parting cannon shot in Griffith's way, which makes them drop him. Slan glances back at the object of her fascination, anticipating another meeting with him real soon, and sickly enough, her wish is granted, but this first appearance should give you an idea of what Slan's role was in the God Hand's entire routine. She would reveal the debauched inner desires of a person and compel them to make the sacrifice she wanted them to make. If someone put up a display of defiance, their heroism would arouse her sense of justice, let's call it, but she would persist with her duty regardless. But it also explains to us how Slan's mind works in a given scenario, and that is crucial to understanding her past life as a human. This is also why her involvement in the eclipse and the incarnation ceremony are both fundamental to discovering the reason behind her own ascension. So let's dive into that right away. She desires Guts and tries to push him into joining her side, Slan's involvement in the eclipse, and Griffith's incarnation into the physical world. The next time we see the demonic dominatrix show up in the story is a brief vision that Griffith has in chapter 49, lying broken in both body and mind inside the Tower of Rebirth. The fallen Falcon thinks he's hallucinating when a brick falls loose from his cell's wall, but he soon realizes this is something more than reality when dead spirits start gravitating towards him and 4 ethereal silhouettes take shape within the hole in the wall. These beings tell Griffith that they would wait for him at that time in that place and inform him that he is their 5th kinsman, the Blessed King of Longing. Sure enough, their words ring truer than anything Guts had said to Griffith so far, because after escaping his own mercenary band, the fallen Falcon tries to give himself deliverance to no avail. This drives him into the depths of despair, and his blood enters the Behelit, activating the fetish and triggering the advent of the eclipse. It's in this nightmarish interstice, which is lorded over by a dead sun and dotted with tormented faces all over, that Slan makes her first canonical appearance. She rises from the ground like a giantess who towers above all with her harsh beauty before manifesting leather black wings that mark her as a member of the God Hand. Once the rest of her kinsmen manifest within the eclipse's interstice, Void welcomes all present for the sacred nocturnal feast that happens once in 216 years. He personally welcomes his kinsman Griffith and addresses him as the blessed king of longing once again, which reminds the fallen falcon of the vision he once had. This ticks off Guts proper, who rebukes the God Hand for trying to turn his friend into one of their monsters, and this makes Slan cover his face as she laughs at his innocence. She admires his beautiful friendship with Griffith and lets him know that he will be an excellent sacrifice for his sake, as she reveals that the purpose of the eclipse was to turn Griffith into a demon. After Ubik gives the stunned Brand of the Falcon a lecture on what a Behelit does to a person, Slan points out that Griffith's fetish was special even amongst them, as it was the only thing that could turn a human into a god hand, the Crimson Behelit, aka the Egg of the King. If you want to know more about these mysterious face stones, then we recommend you check out our Behelit Explained video. The only female god hand member relishes the idea that Guts and Co. were about to become theirs, but when the future Black Swordsman refuses to acknowledge the reality of the situation, she gives it to him in the simplest of terms. Guts was thinking that the God Hand would turn Griffith into a monster against his will. Slan explained that it was Griffith's will that would turn him into a sacrifice in the first place. Just as the Band of the Falcon starts denying the inevitable, Void declares that all lies within the current of causality, and it was now time to perform the Invocation of Doom. Conrad raises Griffith to the God Hand's altar, and Ubik and Void show him his real self, one that has piled on and walked over the corpses of thousands of people just to attain his own selfish dream. Slan empathizes with him, acknowledging that his back alley path had been blocked by an unforeseen force, that being Griffith's obsession with Guts. But even now, the White
Take a
Falcon's
quick
feathers
little
and
break to make a coffee, and then I'll be back. Huh?
I said, why kill them when you can step on them?
I'm pretty sure that kills them too.
Yeah, but why don't go shoot them when you can just step on them?
Alright, little bastard, what are you knocking on? Oh, you're knocking on
Literally
my car's
everything. What? Okay.
see if we can scrounge up some change.
Or just use block.
Or use the lock. Do they have lockers there?
Yeah. You just need to bring your own lock.
Yeah, I just
And then
don't remember seeing it. A new update is available. Oh, is that so? Let's go. So I gotta quit. Oh, I get quit for me. There we go. Ah, there's an update. Doo-doo. Oh, itchy, itchy.
I'm coming. I went to the wrong door, okay?
Okay. Well, we're in. Is everybody calm down?
Exactly.
New maps and modes available now. Ooh, that's so. I love when you can look up and you just see like little cat legs.
Oh.
That's funny. Hello, I see you, cat.
It is.
I see you sneaking.
You're not very sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, buttons. You think I
The hell is
think I
this?
use caution? No. Being cautious is lame.
Oh my god. What have I done? Oh my. I have ruined everything.
What the heck?
Oh, I think Jason got back to you.
He said, when are we going? Not.
Oh, well, we're going around 1. Well, like, I'll probably pick you guys up at like quarter to 1. 1:45-ish.
So when?
I'll probably pick you guys up around 12:45. Like, cause the pool opens at 1, right?
Yep.
There you go. That's really annoying. Oh, custom icon. Just get rid of that. Get out of here. There. Is it gone? It's gone. Alright. That's really annoying. Mercado. Oh, gunfight. Okay. In-game reporting.
206. That's the house number.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thank
He
you.
sent me a picture that I cannot see because, oh my god. it's
Did he send you a Google Maps ping or whatever?
No, he sent me like a really. He sent me this a really blurry picture.
He's like, this is my house. He just took a picture of the inside of his house. It's like, okay, thanks, dude.
I've been inside your house before, Jason.
I know where you live.
Exactly, I know where you live.
Alright. So, in my quest for ridiculous camo, where are we at? So I need 40 kills and then that thing. So I gotta switch back to the Pila. Put the camo on it, because duh. Gotta put my dope camo on. That's why I'm doing this whole thing. Okay, so I need, how many more kills of this thing?
Oh my god, it's a light-sized bug zap.
Oh, I need 2 kills without dying 5 times. Oh wow, only 2 more times. Alright, that's actually not that terrible. And then the platinum challenge is a joke, so that's great. That's a nice break from all of the insanity that is.
Platinum is easier than.
Well, yeah, in a lot of cases it is. I think it's just like to give you a break. It's like, okay, we've made you suffer enough. Now here's some stupid piddly things to do. Like, play the game basically as intended, not just run around noob tubing it with rocket launchers. Apparently I saw a video spoiling the next Black Ops Call of Duty, and it's going to be the Gulf War, and I'm actually quite interested in that. I don't think I've ever played a game set in the Gulf War. No, the Gulf in Iraq. It was, I believe it was Iraq. What do you call it? It was actually a pretty terrible war. It was kind of one of the more recent wars that had people coming back with like crazy PTSD or whatever. Like, it's pretty bad for violence and atrocities and whatnot. So, chemical warfare, I think, too. Because Mr. Hussein, there's not a cool guy. He's a pretty not cool guy. But he got hung, so everything's good now. Well, apparently his son was even worse than he was. Yeah. I don't know, actually, as far as I'm aware, I think he either fled, or he is, like, legitimately... Oh. Or he's legitimately, like, in power there, which I don't... Or, well, illegitimately. There's no such thing as legitimate power in Iraq, but... Yeah, it's... Well, I mean, honestly, I guess that problem suffers... Oh, fuck off. Why are everybody... Oh, yeah, absolutely. Insanity runs in that family pretty healthily. They're absolute sociopaths. But that's kind of... God damn it. That's kind of par for the course for the Husseins. Growing up where they grew up, that's just how it was. Oopsie. I've come for you. You can't hide from me. I got 11 tokens. I think I'm going to use some. Did I get a guy? That is too funny. There we go. Okay, so new plan. I'm going to wait and then rocket the... Okay. Boom. Come on. Damn it! I'm coming. Oh. Oh my god, I'm coming for you. That is a van. Yes! Got him. I think I only have to do this one more time. And then I got gold for the Pila. What a happy story. Come on, let's go. That's a van. Oh, not quite. Bummer. Oh, that sucks. How did I not get that?
Oh god, no, that's drugs.
Run into combat. Hey, I got it, I think. Uh-oh. Got it. Got the gold.
For what?
For the Pila. anti-aircraft rocket launcher. So now I gotta switch over to the Strela.
Hey, can I have that arc suit? Thank you. Aw, sorry. Yeah, unlicensed.
Holy crap! There's a level 5 player in the lobby. Where have you been? He must have a banned account. Max level.
I did it. It has to be a helmet. Guess not. Weird. It's like a laser gun. Kill people. No different weapon you kill. Kills robots really effectively, actually.
What? Jesus, so many flashbangs. God damn it.
Some intense speed running.
Cats. Why?
It's just like
How? I shot a rocket at point blank range. I didn't kill the guy chasing me for some reason. Really? Alright. Ooh. Yeah. Fucking breed back to that cord, eh? Stop!
Tigger.
I'll just leave him for now. Ooh, 2 for 1.
Tigger.
It's fine, just... Enjoy that. Keep enough, man. Come on. Okay, now you're screwing up my aim. Yeah. Okay, off you go.
Yeah, throw me. Tigger, no.
Like, maybe I'll try you.
No, he's going back to you.
Oh, okay, just hold on a sec. Q.
Yeah, just stay there. I'm trusting you, BT. Please don't kill me. Hey,
Kathy, just leave him. He's fine. Okay. Alright, Mr. Craziness.
crazy girl.
Time to put some hot sauce on here.
Gotta get that hot sauce. That's so sad.
Yeah, lots of hot sauce. Make it nice and gross.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad.
Hmm.
BT threw me, and then I see 3 helmets all in the distance, right
Oh.
in the back. That's
just to taunt you.
like this.
Okay, where am I at? Shield, Strela. Yeah, you smell that?
It's like, oh god.
He's like, wait a second, I don't like that.
I don't remember this, but
I think that smells awful.
maybe if I die, I'll
Yep, off she goes. Look at that, magic.
No. There's-
She's like, you know what? I suddenly don't like this anymore. I guess I can swap off my tacticals and stuff now. So we can do what? Flash grenades, and let's do... Don't need a DDoS no more, so we could do a munitions box. Oh, I already did that. Cool. Cool, a couple more doubles with my rocket, and then I'm on to... I guess I could theoretically switch to RPG.
At least I found one helmet here.
Yeah, that's a possibility, I suppose.
Can make it. So sad.
Ooh, I don't know how I didn't get a double there. Oh, jumpy shotty guy. I like how I just nailed a guy named Clap Your Cheeks with a freaking thermite while he was sniping. You are the ones with the claps cheeks. Oh, well, that's a bummer. Run away. Holy moly, snipers. Ow.
No, stop.
Fuck. How do I not get him with a thermite and a rocket? That's a little concerning. There's my double. Boom. Oh! Where'd my rocket launcher go? God damn it. Wah. Damn it! No. Damn it. Boom. That is a Strela Gold, I think. Let's go this one, but I want to take the RPG. What the fuck? Load out. Just load out. Thank you. Oh.
Oh my god.
Nah, this is a crap gun.
Oh my god, no. Why are there so many? They're everywhere. Oh, not again. Ah.
Did I?
Well, I guess Ticker must really like me.
Why's that?
He's cuddling with me.
Oh well.
Remember what happened last time with the hot sauce?
Mm-hmm.
You want that to happen to you again? What?
Wings gazed up at him with clear eyes that dazzled with hope. She thinks they should forgive him.
You are a silly cat. You follow the mouse cursor. I feel so bad for you. Judy Pie.
Humankind then seals the deal by making Griffith accept the fact that he wanted all of this all along, and that's enough to make the Falcon fall from grace and chant "I sacrifice" in his heart. As the apostles begin their inhuman feast, Slan joins her kinsman in chastising Guts for thinking he
I
could
love
save
you. I
Griffith
do.
when he very clearly said he wanted to
just stand
sacrifice all of
there.
them. But she is also
You have
the
to
first
make
to
you
give him his
something.
flowers for doing his best to survive in such a maddening
Although if I do
situation.
that,
Slan points out that
you're
the
just
longer
not gonna
Guts
use
struggles,
it.
The more his life energy becomes food for the new child of darkness and bids the dream known as Griffith farewell as she prepares to welcome her new kinsman, Femto. This is where she proves that she is the most perverted member of the God family. Slan doesn't do anything lewd.
8 more mounted and then that. Cool.
Because she finds it beautiful. Love, pain,
Yo.
hate, every conflicting emotion was emanating from the scene that was being witnessed by
What's
dozens
that?
of apostles and Guts himself. And Slan proclaimed that this is
Oh,
what
well there you go.
evil in this world. By the arrival of Skull Knight, who saved Guts' past.
Oh, you poor
It was the way
thing.
to Godot's
You're so
life.
dumb.
She was just as surprised
It's a
by this
mouse
development as
cursor.
everyone else was. Hubie
Ah, I
Goldberg's
know,
fact
I know,
that
I
such an
know.
unpredictable thing
There.
had happened
And
at
she
the
just
eclipse,
no,
and
no.
Slan
You're not.
admits
You don't
that
have to
they
protect me.
themselves
It's
were not
okay.
gods, merely their hand
The
on
evil
the
mouse
pulse of
cursor
what
will
this
not
could
get me.
take place. But then she
Alright,
crosses
I'll
the
be-
Man,
void
there's
and
like
uses
she's
that either it was the leaping of the lungfish
She's
or
like
this
chasing my
too
mouse
was
cursor,
part of
and then like I
causality.
put it
Either
like
way,
down here
the
where
current
there's like
of
only
that
like a
sacred
couple
concept
pixels,
was
and then she like looks behind it like where'd it go? And she looks like over here like
No.
happened?
That's too funny.
Welcome to
Alright.
Slan's Playground. As soon as the eclipse was over, Berserk went into conviction with, well, full conviction. But it's not an exaggeration to say that Slan
Oh,
might
go
be
follow him.
facilitating
Go get
Griffith's
him.
incarnation in the physical world the most.
Kitten
Because
sick
while
balls.
Conrad brought the plague, and Ubik most likely sent out the prophetic dream
Alright.
about the Falcon of Light, Slan was the one whose presence defiled the holy ground of St. Albion the most. If you guys will recall from our Father Mosgus video, the reason why he was dispatched to that holy city was to root out a cult of heretics operating within its refugee colonies, and the evil goddess these people worshipped was Slan herself. Turns out, she had been influencing humanity as the goddess of flame, possibly for generations, and her teachings basically taught her disciples to be boundless. Now, you might think that this is a good thing, but you really aren't appreciating the true extent of the meaning of the word boundless. When nothing is off the table, even a place as cold as a cave can burn in a sea of flesh, drugs, and worse. And that's exactly what Slan's influence did near St. Albion. Through her cult, she gathered all
going
the
on
evil
here?
energy that could be accumulated from human sin in one place. And when the incarnation ceremony began, her followers were the first to contribute to Femto's second ascension. Slan manifested
doing this
momentarily
one
after
and
the
need a
collapse
couple
of the
more
Tower of
mounted,
Conviction
and
and the
then
blood
just a
of
bunch of
Avatar.
kills without
She
dying,
herself
which is
wasn't
pretty
there. No, instead she was
easy.
somewhere near Enoch Village, because after Griffith came into the physical world, the boundaries
Actually, you know
between
what?
the three
That
realms
tactical
in
insertion is not a
existence began to
terrible
blur, and
idea
both bled over into reality.
for battle
Those
rifles.
who
Not for this
aren't aware of
map,
what
but
that is, well, it's the astral
because I
world
never
of
even used
darkness,
that battle
where
rage.
Slan reigns supreme. The Black Swordsman and his allies were able to save Farnace and Casca from the trolls, and the swordsman himself cut loose for the first time.
Oh, there's a double
in
XP
wild,
event?
He took his rage out on an endless sea of those nasty
It's kinda
creatures.
weird, but alright.
Just as he got done, his brand of sacrifice started gushing blood, and he realized that a God Hand member was arriving soon. That God Hand turned out to be Slan, who took an ethereal form for the first time in ages. Though she did